The LinkedIn Podcast Network is sponsored by SAP. Harness the power of AI across your business and achieve results that are relevant, reliable, and responsible with SAP Business AI. Revolutionary technology, real-world results. That's SAP Business AI.
LinkedIn presents.
The problem is that if we make a habit of thinking that some external achievement, social recognition, or accomplishment is the condition of our joy, then we will live such that joy is always just around the corner, but never quite here. Although we keep saying that next year we will do the things we hope to do and be the person we hope to be, we never stop and realize there ain't no next year. There is only ever today.
What's up, people? Today is Friday. My name is Michael Kovnat, and this is the Next Big Idea Daily, the show that makes smart people smarter by offering quick summaries of the most interesting new books written and read to you by the authors themselves. So let's wrap up the week with a deep question, something for you to ponder over the weekend. Do you have a code for living? If you don't, you might just find yourself chasing social status and material success by default. But a little reflection reveals a better way of living, according to Aaron Simmons, author of the new book, Camping with Kierkegaard, Faithfulness as a Way of Life. Aaron is a professor of philosophy at Furman University and the former president of the Soren Kierkegaard Society. He also hosts the YouTube channel Philosophy for Where We Find Ourselves. Here he is to share his big ideas.
The human condition is defined by vulnerability and relationality. Being human means fundamentally being vulnerable. We are limited beings. All of us, no matter how successful we are going to die. Moreover, even while we are alive, we experience loss and navigate tragedy on a regular basis. Another way to think about this is that our embodiment marks us as fragile, flawed, and finite. Sheesh, that got dark quick. Yikes. Well, here's some good news. Because of such embodied vulnerability, our very finitude is never something we experience in isolation. We are deeply relational. We are always already connected to others in bonds of affective investment and moral responsibility. Because of our shared condition, we can hurt others, but we also can care for them. Life matters because that choice is real for us in small, daily ways. Freedom is real, but so are the consequences. Finitude is the condition of meaning. It might seem that since we are finite and not going to live forever, that despair would threaten all of our activities. What's the point in doing anything if all of it is eventually going to end? Well, ancient philosophers from Socrates and Seneca to contemporary thinkers such as Jean-Paul Sartre and Maya Angelou all remind us that since we do not have an infinite amount of time, it is crucial to make the most of the time that we have. The way that I express this in the book is with the guiding question, what is worthy of your finitude? As I explain in the book, we all have to answer this question for ourselves, but our decisions profoundly impact others. So ask yourself, what is worthy of your time, your attention, your investment, your effort, your action, your belief, and your devotion? What is worthy of your life itself? Our decisions matter because they help to shape how the world will be for those who inherit it from us. Yes, finitude can be frustrating because it means we cannot manage everything. No matter what we choose, risk remains. But as David Kangas, my former professor and mentor, wrote in an email he sent me the day he was diagnosed with terminal cancer, in the end there is the unmanageable, but we would be trivial beings without it. So onward with my day. I strive to live into such encouragement. Finitude is not something to escape, but something to embrace. Life is not something to defer until tomorrow, but something to be lived at every moment. Seek faithfulness rather than success. Once we begin to ask what is worthy of my finitude, we can see the importance of shifting our approach to life from what I call a success orientation to what I term a faithfulness orientation. There's nothing wrong with being successful, but it can be a dangerous way to find meaning in life because it operates according to an if only, then I'll logic. Think about it. Maybe you, like me, have found yourself saying the following: if only I can make it to the weekend. If only I can get that promotion. If only I can find the right relationship. If only I can get that house or that car or that bank account. Then I'll be happy. Then I'll find joy. Then I'll have time to focus on what matters. Well, the problem is that if we make a habit of thinking that some external achievement, social recognition, or accomplishment is the condition of our joy, then we will live such that joy is always just around the corner, but never quite here. Although we keep saying that next year we will do the things we hope to do and be the person we hope to be, we never stop and realize there ain't no next year. There is only ever today. The problem with the success orientation is that it makes us people who are defined by success and wrecked by failure. If we embrace what I call faithfulness as a way of life, then we better understand that the goal is not to catch the trophy trout, though that's cool, but to be someone who keeps fishing. It is about living a life, not just putting trophies on the wall. Importantly, I define faith not as a religious idea, but as an existential one. Faith is simply risk with direction. It's about embracing the risk of our vulnerable existence. That is, whatever you choose to do, you could have chosen otherwise, and yet living on purpose in a direction that you take to be worthy of your finitude. Like mountain bikers all know, when you drop in on a trail, you have to just send it. The same is true in life. Don't be an asshole. A success-driven life can easily tempt us into becoming what Aaron James calls an asshole. The asshole thinks that their success makes them better than others and their achievements determine their identity. They can't handle critique because they need to rest assured in their own rightness. Assholes are not just annoying people. They are fundamentally out of step with their very humanity. They both deny their vulnerability and also minimize their relationality. It sucks to go camping with assholes. Living faithfully is the best way to avoid becoming an asshole, because once we embrace faithfulness, we can then better understand that the goal of life is not to be something once and for all, but instead always ever to be becoming someone we are okay with having been. The problem, though, and also the exciting promise, is that we always already are who we are becoming. In other words, because there ain't no next year, it is crucial that we not think that achievement will make us into who we hope to be. Only by being who we hope to become right here and right now. And yeah, I'm now singing that Jesus Jones song. Can we ever really faithfully live into the hope that defines us? What you choose to let matter today will define what will matter tomorrow. Aristotle expresses this point by saying that our habits define our identity. Similarly, Augustine hits on the same idea when he notes that what we love determines our selfhood. In the book, I talk about the theme song from that show Cheers and stress the importance of finding a place where everybody knows your name. Well, when we appreciate the importance of living faithfully, we actively name ourselves in ways that we want to be known. Hopefully, you are not known as an asshole, but as someone that others want to have with them in the mountains, at the office, and as a friend. Cultivate humility, hospitality, and gratitude. So how then should we live? What types of behaviors mark the lives of those devoted to faithful existence? Well, here I think that there are 3 key virtues that we learn on the trails of life, and literally by spending time in mountains. The first is expressed nicely by that contemporary philosopher Kendrick Lamar. Sit down, be humble. Socrates famously presents humility, the awareness of your own limitations, as the key to being able to seek truth. If you assume you already have everything figured out, then you have no reason to keep thinking well. Only if we are humble enough to realize that we still have lots to learn can we cultivate the appropriate awareness demanded by a commitment to truth. When in the mountains, if you are not humble, you will get yourself injured, or worse. Overconfidence on the trail will not end well. Once we develop humility, we should also see that hospitality is required. Others might know what we do not. Showing hospitality is a way of being open to both encouragement and critique. As my wife and I said to each other at our wedding, "Come, let's walk together and talk along the way." This invitation is one that helps to overcome the division and the animosity that so often follow from arrogance. When we live faithful lives that are marked by humility and hospitality, we can then appreciate gratitude as not an occasional emotion, but a constant lens through which to see the world. Sometimes it rains during the camping trip. You crash on the downhill run, or the fish are just not biting. But you are here, where you have chosen to be. Joy is possible because, as the philosopher Nick Riggle puts it, this beauty of the present moment, of life itself, remains. Ultimately, with Anne Lamott, may we all be able to be humble enough to say help, hospitable enough to offer thanks, and grateful enough to live daily into a deep expression of wow.
Thank you, Aaron. Okay, that's our show for the day and for the week. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit the follow button in your podcast player. And remember, we've got a lot of ways to keep you up to date on big ideas. We've got an app, a hardback book club, audio and video e-courses, and lots more. You can check it all out at nextbigideaclub.com. And if you like what you see, use the code DAILY for a special discount. That's nextbigideaclub.com and use the code DAILY. This week's episodes were written by me, Michael Kovnat, and edited by Caleb Bissinger. The Next Big Idea Daily is proud to be part of the LinkedIn Podcast Network. We'll see you next week.